Hello everybody, it's Sarah, and today I have this week's Top 5 Wednesday for you. Top 5 Wednesday was created by Lainey from Ginger Eats Lainey, but since March the host is Sam from Thoughts on Tomes. I'll leave the links to both their channels in the description box down below, and I'll also leave a link to the Goodreads group if you want to check that out. This week's topic is the top 5 characters that we are most like, and it was very difficult to find 5 characters because of course there's always this element of who do I want to be most like, but I feel like I found 5 good characters that I identified with, especially at the time that I was reading the books for the first time, and so let's get right into it. The first character I have is Mary Yellen from Jamaica Inn by Daphne du Maurier. I'm not really sure why I think that I'm very much like her, but I remember when I read this book in September, I think it was, or in October, I identified with her a lot. Next, I have Annabeth Chase from the Percy Jackson and the Olympians, as well as the Heroes of Olympus series by Rick Riordan. I did not identify that much with her at the moment when I read this book, which was in January, but she still reminds me a lot of myself when I was 12 years old. Because I just love Greek mythology. I was and still am the worst know-it-all in the world. And also one more aspect why I identify with her a lot is that as soon as I learned the history of the Greek gods when I was like 7 or 8, I knew that Athena was my goddess. And it's just something that has never changed. I will always see Athena as my, I guess, patron goddess of the Greek gods if I would have to choose one, so that's one thing that spoke for Annabeth Chase. The next character is a character that actually a lot of people dislike, but that I personally greatly admire, and that is Sansa Stark from A Song of Ice and Fire by George R.R. Martin. First of all, I am a reader, which means I have my own reality, and sometimes I get so caught up in my own reality that I am actually disappointed by the world out there when it's not like in the stories, which is something that happens quite frequently to Sansa. Also, I feel that I have this aspect of her that she has in the book, just holding out and just being patient and just trying to survive. Of course, I never had to go through situations like Sansa. I was never a captive of the Lannisters, but I still think that at least in some part I have this characteristic as well. The next character is one that is very close to my heart, and that is Maggie from the Inkheart series by Cornelia Funke. Again, it's just one of those characters where I can't really explain why I feel like I'm like her, but I just remember when I read this the first time, I was around the same age as Maggie is in the books. Also, Maggie travels around in an old camping bus with her father, and my father owns an old Volkswagen camping bus, and we traveled a lot, we still do, and so that was also an aspect that I felt was just really similar, because I always felt at home on the road, just like her. The last character I have is the first character where I just felt that this character is me put in book form. And that is Tessa Gray from the Infernal Devices series by Cassandra Clare. It's not just her love for books, it's just everything about her just really reminded me of myself. And as with all of those characters, it's of course really difficult to say, are we really like, would I be as brave in those situations? Because it's very unrealistic that I would get in those situations. But anyways, I just love her, and I just always thought that she is myself. Actually, something that happened for me with this character was that the further I read on in this series, the more I imagined Tessa as myself. So that's also why I just had to give her the top spot on this list. Earlier, I also just asked my roommate, who knows me since we were little, who the first character is that pops up in her mind when she thinks of characters I most like, and she was like, Belle from Disney, from Beauty and the Beast. That's it for this week's Top 5 Wednesday. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope I'll see you soon. Kiss kiss!